Welcome to the weekly show. We're here with Kyle and Pedro, but we're here because it's the big Elixir launch party, you guys, and this is a very special book. It took I think it took almost 2 years for me and Pack to finally get this out into the world. This issue 1, and it took time because we wanted to do the story right, and because of that. We finally were able to do it and launch it today, 12 o'clock p.m. Last time I checked, the Kickstarter was at around $500. We're hoping to really do that into the $1,000 goal today. But yeah, while we have we have a special guest here today, Kyle Willis from Cowabunga Comics, which is a specialty comic store in Florida.
Green Cove Springs.
A little bit.
Yeah, we're in Green Cove Springs, Florida, so we're just adjacent to Jacksonville, North Florida. We're about 10 minutes south of the Georgia border.
Very cool, very cool. So my artist Pack, he's coming in just a few minutes, but he actually lives in Florida, so he was very excited to hear that we're getting into some more Florida stores.
What area of Florida? Do you have any idea?
Lauderville, right? It's like outside Miami, like right outside Miami.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a huge metropolitan city.
So. Kyle, I'm from New York, man. I've never been down there, but
fair enough.
I hear it's big. Also, Pedro, do you want to do some introductions for yourself so people kind of remember who you are?
Hi, I'm Pedro. I'm an animator living in Panama City, Panama, Central America. And yeah, I've done several animations for my man here, Arman, over here. And yeah, I'm new to this world of comic books. I'm coming up with my first book. My first original book too. Hey, Mo Biggs, what's up? And yeah, Tropical Magics, and I've been working with RT Bear for a while. So yeah, I'm getting my feet wet in this whole comic book world, and I'm happy. Yeah.
Mo Biggs, I just added you as a moderator. Welcome to the chat, and we have a few people going to jump in and out throughout this entire party. It's going to be a fun one, some very special guests. But for now, I actually will start off with an Elixir trailer. It's 2 minutes, made by Pedro himself.
I can feel the blood leaking out of me, draining out all that I am. My memories, my pain, my happiness.
There's something different in the air. I feel it in every breath I take.
It's flooding over my body and mind. It feels like death.
A new presence has been created in the universe. It is an abomination. A new embodiment of death.
Cyrus the Monster Hunter, you will leave now. This is not a fight you can win.
You are angry at the world, at your place in it. Your weakness, your mortality. Anger is good. It will keep you alive.
Angels, demons, they're all the same. All monsters, all my prey.
I choose you, Cyrus, Monster Hunter. I give you your greatest hunt. I name you my champion.
Why? I want my body. This world. Let me die in peace.
So there we have it. That is the trailer. And every time somebody new joins, Pedro is also such a good animator here that I'm going to play this mini animation of Cyrus, our main character, doing the swords. So Pedro's been hard. Pedro's been hard at work.
Bravo.
For the last few days, but it's something we're attacking after our friend Raven, who she has a book out as well. and she's big on animation. She's trying to attack TikTok, social media, and we're having some friendly competition here. Pedro knows.
Yeah. Like, our man popped me up like, "You're gonna let this girl do this thing?" No, he didn't do it. I
So
said, "Hey,
who did all the voices for your trailer?
Oh, we got some voice actors, a bunch of mix from the UK, from the US. It was a nice mix of just voice actor talent. Well, there was definitely some auditioning that had to go on to try to find the right roles to make it.
Nicely done.
Thank you, Kyle. We actually have here the man himself. We have Pak Kwan, who is the artist of Elixir.
Hi, can you see me?
We can see
We
you.
can.
Pak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pretty caught up today. I'm actually making dinner for my kids, so
Oh, damn.
I want to
Oh, man.
be here.
No worries. Pak is here.
Hi, everyone.
So as you guys all know, Pak is the very talented artist of Elixir. Pak, do you want to say anything that will maybe edge a few people who haven't backed it to maybe back the campaign?
I'm gonna say something, but not right now. The chicken's getting burned, so
No worries. No
All right.
worries.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that chicken, man.
Yeah.
So actually, something I want to go over is there was a big Apple Comic Con this past weekend in New York, and it was actually my first con ever. Kyle, you go to cons, right? You go to cons all the time.
How's it going?
I got customers walking in. I apologize.
Yeah,
What's the question
No
about
worries. You go to
cons?
Comic Cons all the time. What's your
Yeah,
general
I got
experience?
my start on Comic Cons. So working the Artist Alley circuit. So that's where I came from. That's what led to where having a shop. This isn't something that I ever expected. This is it just kind of morphed. I ended up doing graphic design work for some retailers like Scorpion Comics, and I was creating their COAs and doing all their social media graphic design work. And I started to get access to exclusive variants that they would pay me in books, like massive amounts of books. And I started selling books on the side. And then when COVID happened, it took over. I couldn't go to shows anymore, so I was selling comics online, and everything changed. And now we got a whole shop.
Oh wow, that's an amazing story. What was the turning point? When did you open your shop? Like, what was the timeline like?
Well, I started selling online in 2018, but we opened our shop just over 6 months ago. So it outgrew the house. It got to a point where there wasn't a room in the house that didn't have comics in it. I was ordering from Diamond and everything. It had taken over the house, and I was actually going to move it into a warehouse. And the person who is now my landlord called me to hire me to paint live at an event. She throws this yearly cultural event called Calavita Arts Festival. And she hired me to paint live. And after we had figured out the details of me working this event, she's like, "So how's life? How's business? I know things are tough for everybody right now." And I was like, "My business has kind of exploded. It went from 20% of my income was selling comics on the side while I was a full-time artist to now the lion's share of my income came from selling books. And I have so much product taken over the house that I need to move it into a warehouse space." And she's like, "I bet we got something that, like a retail location." I'm like, "I don't think I can really afford that yet. I don't think I'm there yet." But we made it work. They helped me pay for the build out. And we've been going hard in the paint here for 6 months.
Oh man, that's amazing. And everybody who's watching, Kyle is a big supporter of indie comics.
We have a whole section of, we have a whole indie spotlight section of the shop. So, and what's really cool is every now and then someone that I've never seen before will walk into the shop and say, "Hey, do you have any indie books?" And I'll go, "Yeah," and I'll direct them, and they'll go over and they'll buy like one of everything and then leave, and I'll never see them again. And, it's a really crazy phenomenon, but it's very welcome,
I have been hearing from a lot of shop owners, and a few will actually join in a few minutes, but that they, a lot of them, other customers are skipping over DC and Marvel, going straight to the indie section. It's not everybody, but it's a good amount. It's a good enough amount that makes me hopeful. For the
comic
indie
companies show you how much they care about you by the quality of what they're producing. And when you got new publishing houses that publish indie books like Scout Comics coming up and putting out books that they're printed on the finest quality, the editing is better. You don't have somebody peppering in, subliminal hatred into the books. You know what I mean? That transcends to the viewership, and people aren't stupid, and Marvel's putting out books that are like printed on napkin paper, and people have had enough, and they're gonna vote with their dollars, and they're gonna buy, the company that's putting out stuff that actually cares about comics. So indie seems to be the way to go.
I agree. DC in particular, every time I rub my finger on their cover, it just smears all over the color, and I'm like, oh man, this isn't fun at all. You brought up Scout Comics, and they're definitely big on the scene. Charlie Stickney, who I respect very much, is actually the head of publishing, and he might join us tonight over at Scout. So I'm glad you brought them up, actually, Kyle.
I actually just did an exclusive with them. So
hey, Murph.
Hi guys.
We have Murphy here,
Hello.
who is a huge supporter of mine and the indie scene. And
It's awesome. I just
nice.
She prepared. She came prepared.
Yeah.
I feel left out now.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
So Kyle's on to reading it as well. He's about to.
Yeah, I got the PDF. So
Nice.
PDF. We got Mo Biggs in here saying hello to Murphy.
Murphy.
It's supposed to be that. My hand.
So, for those who don't know it, Murphy was actually my virtual Valentine this year. Murphy, is that a correct way to say it?
That really is.
The plot thickens now.
Is that a correct description? So
Yeah,
I might be
we
able to pop
scheduled
back
a-
in, but I do have to jet for a few. I do have someone here who's here to meet me, and I gotta talk to this person for a little
amazing.
bit.
No,
I'll be able to
Murphy,
pop
no
back in.
worries.
But thanks for having me.
When you come back, we'll be here for you.
It's a pleasure, Carl.
Amazing. Murphy, so I actually have an interesting. So I actually just went to my first Comic-Con this past weekend to Big Apple Con, and I have some photos. It's gonna be a show and tell here, and maybe you might appreciate. I met somebody, but maybe you might be the only one who appreciates who this person is. All right, so over here, so this is me just walking around the con, and I see here his name is Winslow. He is the son of the owner of North Carolina. There's a comic shop called Heroes Aren't Hard to Find. Very big supporter of Lost Magic. They bought our books, and then I didn't expect that they have like maybe half the entire room to themselves for this one booth. And I go up to them, I'm like, do you guys know Eli? And then Winslow is like, oh yeah, heck yeah, I know Eli. They were good friends since high school. And then I didn't know until much later that Winslow was like the owner of the company and everything. And then I shot some YouTube videos, and we interviewed him and everything. But yeah, big fan. And it was a great experience overall, just getting to meet new people. But yeah, it was working really well. We also have over here, some cosplayers. Murphy, I know you're big into cosplay. Is this what would you rate these cosplayers right here?
That's a great Punisher, and that's what the
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost over on the side. Yeah, I was totally blanking on her name. They look great. I was wondering if you met. I have some friends that do that show usually every year. I don't know if they went this year, but it's MJ. It's MJ and Spidey. They're a couple. She's got bright red hair, and he's always Spider-Man, or there's some sort of version of MJ and Spidey all the time.
Interesting. I would have to see a photo, but I think I did see a few. I might have met them, honestly. There were so many people, and I think I do remember somebody like that, or one couple like that for sure. We have here a nice Sailor Moon.
Yeah, classic. Always get a classic.
And here's the real question now, Murphy. Do you know who this girl is? Right? Do you even know what the show is? That's the real question. I don't know why it's so.
No, I watched the original version of that show.
Right, it's That's So Raven, and then there was a spin-off, and then this girl here was like, it was one of the three main characters. She's part of the best friend group. So I ran into them, and I ran into her at the Comic-Con, right? And it was one of those things where it was so wacky because I just didn't expect it, but also it was, I was just like a super fan from my Disney Channel days. So over here, you can see me. Something's about to happen. I go up to her, and then what do you think's gonna happen, Murphy? I work my charm. You know what I'm saying? I start doing my smooth talking here, and then she's eating it up. She likes it. It was a great this is a great photo series explaining exactly what our conversation was like. Pedro, what do you think we were talking about over here? What would you
Dude, I right now I feel like Danny Glover. I'm too old for this shit. I haven't seen this show. I don't know who she is. Sorry, man. She's beautiful though. So
That's right. That's right.
Congrats,
Then
yeah.
this was the big photo reveal we took at the very end of that conversation.
Right.
And I kept bringing like a lot of my friends over, and like only the people who were young would even know her, and they were like always so amazed. And that at the end she was very thankful, and she gave me a big hug, and then we went our ways, and that was at the end of the day. So
I mean, if it was like Christy Swanson, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, maybe I'll be like, oh my god, but yeah.
Oh man.
She looks nice.
She does. She does. She was very cool.
Trying to get this.
Whoa.
Oh man,
Lost her.
Murphy's.
Was it something I said?
She just acts out of here. I forgot. Remind me, Pedro, when Murphy comes back, we're gonna play that show. That animation again.
Oh, sure.
So Korean House is the only anime I will not disavow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
No worries at all. We also have Mo Biggs here saying Kyle is not about that mushy stuff. He's out, and I guess that's he didn't like. I think he was referring to the fact that you were my virtual Valentine, Murphy.
Yeah.
Hey, that was cute though.
Yeah. He didn't enjoy that piece of information.
Like, oh, Murphy, Kyle is a very indie-friendly comic shop owner in Florida, and he's again, everybody here is one of my biggest supporters, and he's absolutely one of that. This is not the people I met. That's
okay. They're actually pretty big cosplayers over on the East Coast, but they're really good friends of mine. It's MJ and Spidey.
Very cool. I recall. Do you when you go to these cons? Do you, especially when you go to, I guess, sell books now? Do you go in cosplay in general, or how does that work?
I used to back when I was like slinging Jamie Tyndall's books. I would wear cosplay at the booth. I was having a not so great show at Denver last year, so I put on the Miss Meow suit. And by the end of the weekend, I had like 6 or 7 people running around the Comic Con cosplaying as as Miss Meow, which was really cool, honestly. So it happens. It's just it's rare now. It's a lot to cosplay. It also is very hot.
It was also, people are telling me I should cosplay. I'm like, I'm here to sell books. I'm already as distracted as it is. You can imagine. We have a very special guest coming on right here. We have Neff and Freak Girl. How are you guys?
I know those guys.
What is up, everybody?
How are you? Congratulations on launch day.
We have Mo Biggs here. We have
you got Mo Biggs in the chat. Fantastic. It's a stream.
Oh man, how the roles are finally reversed. Neff, how does it feel?
How does it feel? It feels like my second home. It feels comfortable. I got a comfortable vibe.
Oh man! Well, thank you guys so much for coming here. You guys are definitely, I would consider one of my biggest supporters. And it's funny because Murphy actually saw this campaign page for Elixir, like when it was blank. Do you remember this, Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
And we were going through how to build a better campaign page. We got it there, and then just maybe less than 2 weeks ago, Neff ripped down my campaign page and wrote like a dissertation seminar on how to build it back up.
Apparently I'm known for doing this. I know people ask me for the feedback, and I take time to really squeeze everything out of it, and they go, "Oh my god, I'm never asking you for feedback again."
No, I loved it, and it helped me, and it was one of those things where you have to teach me once, and then I'll know for the future, when I think you really went in, and it also
I go deep.
Definitely did go deep. And the funny thing is, a lot of people told me a lot of different things. Maybe there was about maybe 6 to 8 people I asked for advice, and they all said something a little bit different. So I used Neff as the main roadmap, and then I kind of just jumped through, and everybody else is in there of whatever I could kind of fit. Mo is very happy. Very happy in the chat right now. I gave him a wrench, so he's moderating this whole thing.
Did you wrench the frog yet?
He has not showed up, but as soon as he does, Frog G knows.
We're going to take care of that.
Dude, Frog G is the link mastermind. That guy needs a wrench wherever he goes.
That is right. If you guys just want to maybe give a few, a sentence or two synopsis of who you are. I know, Murphy, we never really introduced you. You can just maybe say who you are a little bit.
I speak for myself. The name speaks for itself. I'm Murphy. I am the editor-in-chief and have been the head writer at Merc Publishing. we have 3 comic series that we have been successfully kickstarting for the last 18 months. We just finished our 9th campaign, which was Death Rage number 4, did $50,000, which I was super psyched about. And we have some big announcements that are coming very soon that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet.
Oh,
That is right. That is right. For me to even talk to Murphy, I had to sign an NDA. Can you imagine?
yes, I can imagine.
Neff, everybody wants to know who you are if they don't already know. Let's
handle it.
We are Neff and Prequel. He's dropping links to try and get the word out so more people can come and help celebrate on your awesome lunch day. We are Global Frequency Studios. Neff here is the writer, creator of Mavericks Origins Volume 1. I am assistant editor on that book and kind of all around Gal Friday. I handle everything over here at the Frequency. We run a YouTube channel where we interview creators like Armin and get the word out about people's Kickstarters and Indiegogos and just talk about comics.
Don't
and
tell them about the book we wrote.
Have a good time. Yes, we wrote a book. Well, I didn't write it. You wrote it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1. It is still in demand on Indiegogo. It is an awesome 106-page perfect bound graphic
you
novel.
helped edit it. So.
Yeah, about
Claim it as our victim.
Yes, everybody, make sure you back Mavericks. Honestly, it was funny because I didn't know I could still back on Indiegogo. I thought the campaign was done a long time ago. But then as soon as I found out, I backed it. So it was one of those things where it's definitely waiting.
Yeah, $20 will get you a whole smorgasbord worth of goodies.
Yes, lots of stuff. We just posted an update today.
So everybody knows Pedro by now. Pedro, lovely Pedro over here. He has so we had a girl called Raven Monroe come on the show, friend of the show, and she's doing a lot of animations.
Sketchy Raven.
Yes,
we love Sketchy Raven.
Sketchy Raven.
She did our TVs for us. Oh, we love her.
She did a lot of animations for a new mini clown, and then I was like, Pedro, we've got to beat her. You know what I'm saying? Some friendly competition never hurt anybody.
And that's all. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
So every time somebody comes, we're gonna play that animation, and we're trying to get,
So it's for TikTok. I thought TikTok was for dancing, and Ravens are like, no, I'm doing a lot of animation on TikTok, like really short snippets, and that's something I can dish out really fast. So let's give that a try, I guess.
Absolutely, and Pedro was an amazing addition to my team and my friendship as we kind of met the same day, Murphy, if you remember. We met the same podcast on Nile Scala's cast, and it's been a good time ever since, honestly. Me and Pedro have been working on a lot of things together, and he's now like a regular on this show. I invited him once, and now he just doesn't want to leave. So hopefully you guys
like that.
I'm like that. Want to stay as well.
I've got some stuff that I'm going to be sending Pedro here pretty soon.
Amazing. He's excited for that.
Awesome. Yeah.
So Neff, how you've been doing this an amazingly long time, and there's a lot of people when starting out, right? And I was one of these people. It's like, what would you say is the biggest, and you can kind of go into, is it Kickstarter design? What is the one most important thing when launching Kickstarter or for a new creator jumping in?
I think in order to make a successful Kickstarter campaign, it definitely is formatting that page and trying to get eyes on it. I said to you, I have a philosophy when you're designing a crowdfunding campaign that every choice you make is an opportunity to lose backers. If someone comes to the page and they're scrolling down, you have to make conscious choices all the way through to keep their attention. Everything you do deliberately keeps their eyes on the page. It's not going to really encourage them to back. It's going to keep them there. You don't want to run them off. They're already there. They're already interested in seeing what's up and probably backing the project. You want to close the deal, so every choice has to be made in the frame of mind that it can cost you backers. The other thing that you need to really be aware of is the fact that this is a difficult industry. It's a boutique industry, so it's a difficult industry to really get your footing in without help and promotion. And on Kickstarter, there are a lot of communities centered primarily on Facebook, I believe, where you can go in there and you can ask people's advice, get help from them, see if you can signal boost. You should network with other creators who have active campaigns on Kickstarter so that you guys can cross-promote. When you send out an update, you tag their campaign. They do the same thing for you. You guys are sending backers to each other. Try and aim to get a projects we love, because that increases your visibility in the Kickstarter algorithm. Freak Girl knows how to do that because it's some sort of crowdfunding sorcery that I'm not even familiar with myself.
I've always wondered about that because it's so hit and miss with us. Like the first one, the first two we did, it was immediate, and then I think we've only gotten one since then.
It's like a combination of having comments on your campaign, the number of backers per day, number of backers within launch, your time of funding, how many times it's been shared. So there is actually like a whole computational, obviously, algorithm that goes along with it. But there's an article that says exactly how to kind of not cheat the system, but play the game to up your odds of getting it.
Kickstarter's got a much better algorithm too than Indiegogo. If you're going on Indiegogo, you really can't rely on the algorithm to promote you the way that it does on Kickstarter. Kickstarter will really circulate you. People on Kickstarter will find your campaign and they'll promote it because the Kickstarter community is really involved in that platform. Which can be a double-edged sword, since they're so busy promoting the projects that they find are interesting. Your project, if it's not in the mix, can kind of fall by the wayside and get lost. On the other hand, on Indiegogo, you're really in charge of your own marketing and promotion. The more you reach out to people in the Indiegogo network, the more visibility you'll get. But you have to put in all the legwork to advertise. Yeah. What you're doing right now is great because you're cultivating a following of people who know exactly where to find you. They'll follow you on social media. You interact with them directly, interacting with the chat. You've got a bunch of friends up here. We got
Don in here. We got the
it's Don. We got Dean in here too. We got D-Wag. Oh, we got Don. Don is here. Awesome.
What is this witchcraft? How you doing, Don?
I told you Pedro was a friend.
Awesome. Hi, guys. Hi, Murphy.
Hi.
Hi, Pac. Nice.
Hi, Don. How are you doing? Nice meeting you.
We're gonna play something very special for you just at every entrance.
I'm gonna hit this towards the end of the show.
That's good.
So Pedro made a very special animation. I just want to circle back to enough because you were saying about projects we love. I believe that they, and this is just me thinking, I argued with them about the use of NFTs, and they disallowed. I put that as a reward, not knowing they didn't allow it. And then we've been going back and forth for a few exchanges, and then ever since then, they've never given me a project we love. Of course, it's only my third campaign. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I've felt snubbed by Kickstarter here and there too. I think there is some drama to it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like I said, it's a community on Kickstarter, and you on the platform itself. You don't have as much involvement on Indiegogo because the Indiegogo team just kind of leaves it up to you to market your campaign and bring in, your own backers. Kickstarter, they really do kind of behind the scenes move things around. That's why there's like a public relations liaison. That's why there was a whole group of people that were content moderators and content checkers, making sure everything was, up to their own standards. And that, like I said, that's a double-edged sword. You can either catch their attention and really use it to boost your signal, or you'll get smothered and forgotten about.
Yeah. 1 second. I believe that entirely. We have a very special, shop owner here, Keith Hooin. Keith, do you want to say hello?
Oh,
hey everybody.
Hey, nice doggy.
So about a puppy.
That's right. So Keith owns a shop in Leesville, Louisiana. Is that right, Keith?
That's right.
and Keith as well. I think Murphy just caught Kyle, but Keith as well is one of the biggest supporters. We placed the biggest order for Lost Magic Season 1 that I've received to date. And that was he was also the first retailer to actually carry Lost Magic. And, of course, for that, very grateful. And again, building this long-term relationship in this community. Keith understands and wants to go on board, and he believes in me, and I believe in him. Keith, is that
absolutely?
Do you want to basically what we were talking about is crowdfunding and the indie scene. You said something very particular to me. Like, what is your opinion on the indie comics market generally today, Keith?
Well, we've had this conversation before, and I've talked to Sam and some of the other guys about it with the crowdfunders. Indie comics themselves, I sell more indie comics in my store than any Marvel or DC title. That's just by the numbers. The only outside of the next comic would be, and I don't think anybody would be surprised by this, but Spawn, Todd McFarlane's Spawn. It sells. That's the only mainstream title that sells. If I put an indie in the store, that's why I've started placing larger orders. I started by I'd buy 5 books and then go back and get them if they sold. Well, I'd put 10 indies out and on a shelf, and I'm out of 10 indies the weekend I put them on my shelf. So, like, at this point, with Armand's with Lost Magic, I took my order and I have a show coming up, so I made sure I wanted to have it at the show for some new customers, so I had to make sure I put stuff aside. Otherwise, it would have all sold in the store, and I'd have been going to the show with nothing and not able to reach any new customers. So indies are big sellers right now, and I think there's some things that a lot of different crowdfunders could learn, and a lot of indies in general could learn about customer service, which would make it even more appealing for retailers to have them in the store. But I think we're seeing a big move to more independents being in the retail stores. In my area, I know of another store. They don't even carry any mainstream titles. They only carry independents. So they're about 2 hours from me.
Murphy and Neff, how's hearing all this sound? When I heard this, I was very, inspired and motivated, and I was like, hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. And Keith, I think you should try and get some creators together in the crowdfunding circles and in indie comics and share that wisdom, because I know a lot of people in our network who would really like to get their book out there into the world, into stores, into the hands of people who want to buy their book, into shops run by individuals who want to support indie. Because one of the problems I have found is when I go to my local shop, it's a small space. The majority of it's dominated by long boxes and back issues, and the rest of the retail space, the floor space, is really consumed by, the major industry publishers and even the smaller industry publishers. And it's kind of impossible to put a wealth of indie books up there to compete with it. You're competing for shelf space. So if there are stores out there that are specifically thinking about catering to indie comics, man, I'd love to get involved. Do you have a Substack? You should start up a Substack and write a blog or something. Yeah. Get people involved. I'd sub to it. I'd promote it, and my friends know, because if you want to start this conversation up, I know there are a bunch of other store owners who've been talking about this stuff and lamenting the fact that it's not really a go-to thing to get indie comics onto those shelves. But if you want to push, man, I'm behind you.
Yeah, we'd love to push it. We have some stores that we're actually pushing Armand and Sam's book out to. We've got some stores that we're not really associated with, but we're associated with Mississippi and Texas. They just don't know. Most of the retailers are scared on whose book do I take the risk with. When I most of you probably know Advent Comics and Tony Cottrell. So I've known Tony for about 15 years. So it was easy for me to jump behind Advent Comics. And I knew there was a customer base here because I knew people had asked for it. But when I first started the store, one of my big things was, because I have my own book out, was I'm going to push all those indies that I had to fight so hard to get when I was a young collector and a young reader, when I was sick and tired of DC. Now, I'll tell you, this is shocking to a lot of people, we no longer carry DC unless it's ordered. DC titles are a special order. I don't sell them. They don't sell. I've got one person that buys Batman and one person that buys Green Lantern. One of those people is me. So,
Can I ask you an honest question real quick?
Yep.
You said Spawn is a title that sells, and that's true. Spawn is very attractive. How many copies of King Spawn #1 did you order? Did you try to get the store exclusive variant? How many did you sell, and how many are in the back room right now?
I sold about 20 copies of that, but I did not try and get the variant. The price point on that was way too high for the area I'm in. I mean, you know, I'm in Leesville, so Leesville, Louisiana is about 7,000 people. Now we have a military base right next door, which I'm on their entryway, and that's about 30,000. With that, a title like Spawn's not going to sell hundreds of copies. But I'll tell you, 47 Furious Tales is a good story. We brought right on, yeah. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Those Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, I sold 10 copies, ordered 10 more because people ordered them that didn't get their first copy. 47 Furious Tales is still on my shelf, still sells at least a copy a weekend. Armand's book was in the store, and I had to replace books immediately. We have, there's a guy, Damon Pelican, does a book, Murphy's Foo Bar. Now he's a military veteran, and his story's about military veterans. And I have to hide his book when I get him in because I don't have a chance to price them. So, but like Spawn sells. No, I mean, I'm never gonna discount that. But Todd McFarlane's got great artwork. He's got it's legendary status. People buy it because people buy Todd McFarlane stuff. Todd could put his initials on toilet paper and sell it.
Hold up, everybody. We got another special guest retailer here. Keith, this is another retailer for you. His name is Ozzy.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Ozzy.
And when we have Ozzy here, we gotta play the animation. So Ozzy, so every time somebody joins, you play Pedro's animation there that he made for this. Pedro, actually, Keith and Ozzy and everybody on this panel, he made my trailer for Elixir, and he's an animator, and he's a very great addition to the team. And Ozzy, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
And I'm very confused because Ozzy looks like one of my cousins. So now
I help run a shop here in New Hyde Park, Best Comics International. If you are on Instagram, it's Best Comics NY. We've been in business for about 40 years now, and we're just a small local shop, just helping out, a local creator.
Amazing. And he was the first to lock in a retail exclusive cover for Elixir, you guys. So he wanted a yin and yang of the hero and the villain. And I will show you on the screen right here. Pack sketched something this morning, or not this morning, but it is. We got here like a mini yin yang style. Awesome. We have Death 2.0, who is the main villain, and we have Cyrus, our main hero. And we even have something better. We have a colored shot of it over here. And
it's coming together.
It is coming together. So this actually is just the sketch. This is not the final version. It was something that Pac was playing around, and we're gonna kind of see if you liked it so far. And
I'm liking where it's going. I'm really liking that.
Very cool. And something that you had told me, Ozzy, is when locking in retail exclusive covers, you didn't want to take away from the main cover. You in fact wanted it to sit right next to it, and people liked it so much that they wanted to get both. Can you talk a little bit about your mindset about even taking a chance on an indie?
Well, the book looks amazing. The art's incredible. Just putting it on the shelf, like the little advanced copy you gave me, just people were stopping and looking at it. So, like I said, I didn't want to take away from that. The vibrancy, the color, the characters. There's a lot going on, but it makes you want to stop and take a look at it.
Everybody, we have another very special guest again. So everybody on this panel is a big supporter of mine. You all know that, and we have none other than the man himself, Sam Quinton. Sam Quinton.
Sinopa Sam.
Right. Sam is over
Keith,
here.
what's up, brother? Everybody, good to see everyone here. Pedro, Pot, Nev, Ron.
Yeah, we got Keith's on board.
If you're new to me, good to meet you guys.
So Pedro is, he makes the trailer and the animations, and because Sam came in, you guys know what time it is. Pedro, are you embarrassed, Pedro?
A little bit. I'm starting to feel a little bit naked, but I'm all right. I'm a big boy.
So everybody here has definitely been inspiring to me. So actually, Murphy inspired me to keep pace with her. One comic book launch a month this year. We're both on track. This is book 3, and I've already delivered my first 2 from January and February. Sam is big on actually. Is the biggest motivator in kind of telling me, about the business. He's very into making sure the numbers make sense and getting it into retail stores. He introduced me to Keith over there, and it's been a great friendship ever since. Sam, do you want to kind of talk about how we met and your first impressions of me?
Well, Armand was stalking me on Kickstarter, and it was really a case where we had 2 characters that had identically spelled names, and just ended up talking for a little bit. And the first thing that we ended up talking about, I think, as far as business-wise, was why are you spending so much per copy of book when you can get it cheaper and on higher quality paper? And so that led to a series of other conversations that were pretty productive.
So Sam and me, Sam, how often would you say we talk? Is a good number.
You call me ritually about 5 nights a week at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It is. You guys are lucky because Sam answers all the questions that you guys don't want to answer. So Sam takes the responsibility.
Hey, Armin, we got to bounce out, actually. We got a show that we've got to prep for. But thank you so much for bringing us on, man. You're doing great. We can't wait to have you on our show to talk about Elixir. Don, always good to see you, my dude. Pedro, always a pleasure. Murphy, Pac, great to meet you. Keith,
thank you.
I would love to talk to your ear off about comics. So reach out to us, get our info from Sam or Armin, and let's talk some business.
Yeah, absolutely. They have my phone number, and I can get yours. So
yes,
indeed. And Sam, always a pleasure too, my dude.
Neff, it's always a pleasure.
Bye, everybody. Have a great show.
You're feeling better, brother.
Bye, Neff.
Mo Biggs, don't jump ship. Stay with us. Mo Biggs in the chat over here. He's the moderator of their show, but he's going to see if he can stay and maybe we'll steal him away from Neff over there.
Don't gatekeep Mo. That's just.
So we are 60% put on Elixir on day 1. And of course, this does not include, a lot of the retail backers. Keith still hasn't pledged on Kickstarter yet, and Ozzy's wasn't done entirely off Kickstarter. Very cool. Ozzy, while we have you, what was, where I would consider us good friends now. How would you say that, when we first met, what was your first impression in, when I was trying to push Lost Magic?
I could see that you were eager and you were driven. Like I said, it was Lost Magic spoke to me again because the artwork really stood out. It was rough, but it really fared well with the story. I knew that you just had something different about you. You were determined. So I figured why not? And then I was really happy because once I saw Elixir, I was like, we're on to something. This looks good.
Oh, amazing! Yes, that's exactly kind of how I feel. Everybody here, including Keith, Murphy, and especially Sam. If Sam didn't think the book Lost Magic was good, he would never return my calls. He would have,
He makes me sound like such a hard ass, Keith, doesn't he? Do I give off the hard ass vibes, Keith? Is that what I am? I guess maybe.
Yeah.
It's getting called at 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week. That doesn't.
Yes, right before on Monday night was it or Tuesday morning at 3 a.m. I had texted Sam on Facebook and of course I didn't expect him to reply, but he replies immediately like a minute later saying,
that was the mistake.
He's like Armand, it's 3 a.m. That's it. That's all he says. And I'm like, oh. But it was one of those times, when there's a lot of pressure to kind of get this book out there. Me and Pac working on it for 2 years. How are you doing, Pac? I don't know where Pac is, but he's driving somewhere.
Hungry. He wants some food.
Yeah, probably.
He's feeding his children.
So if you guys don't know, yes, he is getting his children. Pac is the amazing, incredible, talented line artist of Elixir, and he, he is in Florida, and I guess he's picking up his kids right now. But I was very happy to kind of meet, especially Sam has been there since day one, kind of guiding, and then everybody else has kind of just been as we elevate, our game and elevate getting bigger and better books. Again, the plan is we're on track for one book every month, a year, and it's something that I'm kind of excited to do alongside Murphy over there.
Nice.
Can I give some good news?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so Keith, you might find this particularly interesting. I know Don will probably be interested in this. 47 Furious Tales issue 3, right? Kickstarter ends today. But with the pledges today and the pre-orders that we have from some of the other shops outside of the Kickstarter, we just passed 1,000 copies, print copies distributed for issue 3.
Great.
So
very cool.
That's great. We'll ship that next month. Probably it's either going to be in the third week, Keith, or early part of the fourth week, and you'll have a, how I pack your stuff.
Oh yeah.
You out of Rain Ages yet?
Not quite, but I got a show on the 9th that's because I put them aside, just like I have a whole bunch of some other books just put aside just for the show.
Yeah.
And I was gonna pipe in the Cyphicon on Saturday, but I've got some other stuff going on. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna make it or not, so I'm just gonna run around and hand out, kind of cheat the table system. Put a sign on me, comic books for sale, and wear a backpack.
There you go.
Heather's going to sell out for you. But Sam, we'll touch back on how successful you actually are. But we have another guest joining us. It's Brittany Lay. Do you want to say hi?
Hello. Yes.
Hey.
So Brittany is the editor. She has come on board for all of my projects, whether you can believe that or not. How many projects do you have in the works, Brittany? Don't answer that. That was a trick question.
Okay.
There is so many, and a running joke is that she does not want me to send her any more Google Drive folders because there's so many links that we're sharing. But
I'm one folder away from losing my mind.
Yeah, I get that. Before Brittany, how do we meet? Do you want to kind of talk about how we met?
Sure.
I've known Brittany for 3 years now. It's been
so many years. So we originally met as I was an intern for you in the other kind of like comic book startup that you were doing, and then just kind of like kept in touch from there, and now an editor up from an intern. So we just
That's right. Me and Brittany saw Avengers Endgame together.
We did.
That was
a special moment.
A very special moment. We also saw the downfall of the Night King. Is that correct, Brittany?
Yes, we watched the Night King episode. Yeah.
Yes. Some great memories that we had. And then she is a very great writer in her own regard. She placed as a finalist in the Nichols Fellowship, which Neff is probably the only one who knows what that is, but it's like a big screenwriting competition. It's like the most prestigious one. So she's been great ever since we kept in touch, and she kind of gets my humor. She's also a comedian. So it's been good going ever since. Sam, I wanted to touch base on. Do you want to share how many books you've sold through the first 3 months of this year, or is that confidential numbers?
We're a little over 2,000.
Isn't that the most craziest thing you guys have ever heard?
It's been absolutely ridiculous.
Murphy?
It's been absolutely ridiculous.
That's awesome.
It's between 47 Furious Tales, issues 1 and 2, and then now 3. Which that doesn't count the stuff that's pre-ordered from this campaign. That's just the stuff that we've moved through the first Kickstarter and subsequent orders and such. So we've been moving a lot of stuff.
Brittany, you already have some.
Which is why the ever-present boxes of merchandise keeps getting smaller and shorter, and what was 2 boxes higher and 1 row further is now much smaller. So.
Yes, I remember. Oh man, we have a very special, moderator and friend.
Hey, Frog, what's up, man?
His name is Frog G. He's good. Jesus. he's tight with Mo Biggs over there and the Neff crew, and we'll make him a moderator of this channel really
Dude,
fast.
Getting link royalty right here, Mr. Mo Biggs and Mr. Frog G. Oh yeah.
So these guys, for people who don't know, are big in the indie crowdfunding comic community, specifically, on the YouTube chats and on the online presences. But Frog has now a wrench, so now they're moderators, and they're welcome to. Neff is definitely here, trying to promote them as well. So Don, I just met you this morning, but you were kind of a great friend, and we kind of hit it off really well. You were also, is it fair to say that you're Asian?
Yes, I am, of course.
Easy now.
So
Is
that
a
was.
prerequisite?
I'm not good at math though, so I kind of break the stereotype.
So Don was one of the people I was looking forward to really meeting, because he was, an Asian in the indie crowdfunding community, and one of the few ones that I would say that I've come across. I don't even know if I've met anybody else actually, but yeah. So it's been a great time getting to kind of jump into this community. And that was a big part of this year when I first launched on my first Kickstarter. Sam, can you believe it's been 2 months now, almost 3 months?
Yeah, it's been going by like crazy.
And
of course, slinging books left and right now. It's important.
Yeah.
It
campaign, fulfill, campaign, fulfill, campaign, fulfill. Keep putting books on shelves.
I finally wrote out my workflow of all of everything that I do, like every step of making the comic, and it was like 20 steps here, and there was like 25 steps here, and then there's another 15 steps here, and it was like, and I'm doing this like simultaneously with how many books? It's insane once you really get going.
Oh man, don't tell Brittany that. Don't tell Brittany.
Oh God.
It's like, document your processes and refine your workflow and optimize it.
Yep.
But Murphy, you're trying to bring more people into the team, correct? You're not gonna try to do it by yourself.
No, we are expanding. It's actually part of the big announcement that we have coming on Friday. If you don't follow us, it's Merc Publishing on all the social medias. We're expanding our team. We're expanding in a lot of ways, but it's definitely, once you start trying to get into the monthly comics and keep that going, it's definitely something that you need a team that you can trust and that is committed to what you're doing, and like more so than anything else cares about comics.
100%. And I would say part of the team, I would consider everybody on this panel part of the team. It's not just, my team and me and Brittany and Pedro, but it's people like Keith and Ozzy and Sam, because they, the guidance they give, and also, they're day one, the biggest supporters, they'll take the books. We know they'll take the books and they'll push it hard in their stores and support us. And also somebody like Sam, who even though we're kind of in it together, we talk about it all the time that we're trying to build, indie comics, especially crowdfunding indie comics. We're trying to really build that industry up. Neff is huge on that as well.
And the thing about retailers too, just remember this is really, really important. It's not just about the retailer supporting the creator. You have to support your retailers. You have to make sure that your retailers are seeing good returns on your product. You have to make sure that it's profitable, that the books that they're selling that have your name on them are helping to keep the lights on. And you need to make sure you're following up, check up with them, see what's moving well, what isn't. If the clientele have feedback, listen to the people who are reading your books. This is important.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that with you, Sam. That is one of, and I've told both of you guys, you and Armand, this. The first thing a new customer asks me when they see a new indie, especially if it's a number one, first thing they want to know is when number 2 is coming out. And they want to know if the creator is timely and puts their product out on the schedule that they told me. So if you tell me you come out every 3 months, I tell the buyer that, I tell the customer that, and they have no problem with that. They know to expect it in 3 months. And if you say it's monthly and it comes out every 3 months, they've already quit buying your book because they've said, well, I'm going to try this other one. I have $50 of every payday to spend. I'm buying this other one. And I'm in a military community, so the 1st and 15th is their paydays. So your timing on distribution impacts me incredibly. If it's supposed to be there between the 1st and 15th or the 15th and 30th, I don't care if it comes in at 4 o'clock in the morning on the 15th. I need it on the shelves on the 15th or the first day I'm open after the 15th.
Absolutely.
So timeliness is important, and that's what's great with Sam and Armand is, I tell you, their Kickstarter. I think I got my books before they ever finished their Kickstarter. I'm not sure, but it was that fast. It was that quick of a turnaround that books were in my hand on my shelves, and I have another store in Lafayette, 2.5 hours from me. That's a partner store of mine, and we kind of team up on bringing independents in. He brings in titles that I don't necessarily know about, and I bring titles he doesn't necessarily know about. And we make that 2.5 hour drive. One of us makes a total of 5 hour drive. One of us will make that drive just to switch up, get the books delivered so that they're on shelves on time for when we know our biggest sell days are. And for me, that's the 1st and the 15th. For him in Lafayette, it's usually the first weekend of the month. So we have to coordinate that. And you don't know, I'm not sure, Ozzy, I don't know how many stores you have that you're connected to. But when you're connected with these other stores, you're building this community, and the slightest little thing can impact how that community views your store and the creators that you carry.
Yes. So actually, Murphy, so Keith has actually played a very big role as well into pushing me into this monthly release, one a month, because very simply, he explained to me that, people buy books, they come into the store every week or every month, and they're going to buy a book. And if your book is not on the shelf, they're just going to spend your money on somebody else's book. They're going to spend their money no matter what. It might as well be your book. It might as well be, you on the shelf. So,
well, it's, when you're doing Kickstarter campaigns, it's easier with, doing Kickstarter to do every 3 months. And, when we first started talking about really getting into like kicking stuff into gear, I was like, well, why can't we just do that? If we set the expectation, then people will know to expect it. And it's just like you said, it's you can teach people, okay, we're going to come out every 3 months, but that doesn't mean that everyone's going to, accept that. Like, they're used to monthly comics. There's so many comics out there that if you do every 3 months, then you might end up losing kind of the excitement that people get, that having that comic in their hand every month, like, really keeps people enthralled into what you're like story that you're telling.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So we have a very special another special guest. She's actually part of my team, but it's actually Bitsy over here.
Hello.
Bitsy is from Japan. Is that a correct way to put it, Bitsy?
I am in Japan. I'm from America.
I always introduce her wrong, but yes, that is correct. And because she's here.
That's awesome. Hey, I have to head out. I'm sorry. I wanted to.
Absolutely. God, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you for inviting me. I did back your campaign during the show, so hopefully you'll get a little closer to your goal.
Tomorrow. Thank you,
Bye,
Don.
everyone.
Don, have a good one, man.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
And Armand, I got customers in the store. It's book day, so I got to get back out there.
Amazing, Ozzy. I'll see you tomorrow. But the best part of my week is going into Ozzy's store every Thursday when he's there, and us chatting about comics and particularly about my books. Thank you, Ozzy, for being a big supporter.
I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Bye.
Now I have to put some books in Ozzy's store.
That's right. You got it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I'll bring it up tomorrow, Sam. Don't you worry. But
I'd bring samples. You've got hard copies.
I do. We got a Reign of Ages right over here. I think somebody was trying to join the stream. I was, whoever it was, if you want to join now, you can.
Yeah, like I can head out too if you need the space.
Oh, no, we were good. I think it was
you can take 10,
people
right?
just left, so I think we're good. But again, nobody's holding you hostage, you guys.
Can you take 10 or 9?
It's 10.
10?
Yeah.
I got someone for you.
Oh boy. Guess who is here? We have a very special guest. This is actually Charlie Stickney.
Hey, everyone.
Charlie.
How you guys doing?
So it might only be me, but Charlie is a rock star in the Kickstarter crowdfunding community. Charlie, is that a correct way to put it?
I have been fortunate on Kickstarter. Yes.
So Charlie also has, I think, are you head of publishing of Scout Comics? Is that correct?
I am the co-publisher also over at Scout Comics. Yes.
Yes, but before any of this, I knew Charlie on Kickstarter for White Ash, and he actually was he was the kind of the person that I kind of studied for about all of last year when I was looking at how do I get my comics out into the world, right? And he had some massive successes on Kickstarter, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Charlie, you're a big inspiration to me, and I didn't even know you, so keep being you, and that's kind of. To all of you guys, I think there's a lot of people out there, especially newcomers and young people into the game who want to do it. They don't really know how to do it, but they kind of just need people to kind of support them or show them the way. Sam was a big Sam does that all the time as well. Charlie, you can introduce yourself. I just wanted to preempt your introduction.
well, thank you. I mean, I think the best thing about Kickstarter is community. So the more that we can all do to build community with each other, the easier it is for everyone who's on the platform. And I've been really fortunate because I've been able to go from Kickstarter to the direct market, and then I go back and forth between both places because they really are two distinct markets with a very small bit of overlap. So there are people who buy comic books on Kickstarter, and there are people who buy books in the direct market who don't go to the both places. So, at least at my time at Scout, we've seen that a lot of books that, have blown up on Kickstarter have never been seen in the direct market. And so you can introduce them to a whole new audience there. So you as a creator, I think, there's opportunities for both places for you to take your books. And we're no longer in a place where, even Image is going to Kickstarter. So creators are going back and forth now. And I think it's just about finding fans, building a fan base, and building a community. And getting your content out there.
Well said.
Absolutely. That's definitely a big goal of mine. I think all of us as a community to try to make indie crowdfunding comics, build it into an industry, but also get it into stores. And I think Sam's been crazy, successful in pushing this of trying to get people from the crowdfunding sphere into direct market retailers. And Keith over here owns a large store in Leesville, Louisiana. Keith, do you recognize any of Scout Comics' books? Do you carry Scout Comics in your store?
Yeah, well, we were, but we're gonna have to talk to Scout directly since I'm canceling my agreement with Lunar.
Okay. Well, we are still on Diamond though, so just so
So, but I was doing it through Lunar, but I'm no longer. DC. I told everybody earlier, DC sells like $5 worth of comic books in my store a month. So to carry $250 retail from Lunar just
yep.
What it means is I have $250 more a month towards somebody in this group. So yeah,
it might be worth it to stay with them. I can't say anything else, but
Murphy can't say much. But I think Murphy isn't a big announcement coming this Friday for Merc? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That is right. And I only know this again because every time I talk to Murphy, I sign an NDA, you guys.
We can, I can announce the part of it that has to do with you right now if you want.
Okay, for sure. Let's announce it right on the live stream.
There goes the NDA.
Like I said earlier, we're growing our team, and Armand has been doing such a great job promoting his own comic that I would be an idiot to not bring that talent onto with Merc Publishing. So Armand is going to be our official retailer outreach man starting really soon. I actually just finished putting the press kit together.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. That is true. I just found out about that right now along with you guys.
Nice. I not told you yet.
You sound very surprised. Yeah.
No, I honestly do. So me and Murphy have been talking ever since we first met a few weeks ago. But yeah, Merc Magazine was one of the Charlie, do you know Merc Magazine on Kickstarter? Have you seen them?
Yeah, I think I have. Did you? Okay, hopefully I'm not thinking of something else. Did you do something with Pat Shand as well, or not?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay.
Froggier Mo, drop something about Merc Magazine. They do this right now. Cat Fight is there. They have Murphy. You can say some of your titles, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take over your stream with my comics. We're Merc Magazine on Kickstarter. We've got a Kickstarter running every single month. We're easy to find.
Yeah, but you two in general are huge, and I would say like both Merc Magazine and Charlie Stickney as a lone figure really is what I studied going into when I launched on January 3rd. I was like, I wanted, I already had a few books ready to go. I just didn't have the community. I didn't know how to market or push my comics out into the world. And, I really just kind of studied your campaigns. It was as simple as that. And then when I was ready, I pressed the launch button, and really no fans, no backing. And then now I made like, 100 new backers on that first campaign that have carried over. And now I have some fans, and I'm jumping into the community. We have Sam over here who now takes my calls no matter what time of day it is. And is always ready to kind of.
I don't sleep much anyway, so I mean.
Well, I think like the other thing that's true is like that creators support each other on Kickstarter, and the longer you do it, the more people who start following you on Kickstarter. Like it just like with any other social media. So when I back something now, there's like 600 people who see what I back on Kickstarter. So it's like its own little plug just when I back something. So like I made sure that I backed your campaign when it came out today. So at least anyone who follows me will know that you launched Elixir today. And so the more you can do that, the more you can work with groups to cross promote. I wish it was as easy for the direct market. Like Keith, I think it's really a difficult thing for retailers because the playing field keeps changing, and it's harder and harder to get the promotional content for things to stand out. But at least on Kickstarter, we can augment each other in a way that's much harder than in a space where you're trying to compete with 500 titles a month or whatever.
Right. So no, absolutely. Right away, Charlie, I don't think we played our animation when you came in. Or maybe I'm double tapping now. I don't even know.
You just love seeing it.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice.
Ramon's got the launch day caffeine level going, so he's ready to go for the next couple of days straight, I imagine.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this was a big moment. And again, thanks to everybody being here. It took a while for me and Pac to get here, but it took a while for me to even have the confidence to launch on Kickstarter. That January 3rd. I think Charlie, what advice can you give to first time kind of creators or who don't really know what to do? They have a book, but they don't know what to do with it.
I think looking at a show like this, getting to know other people who launch on Kickstarter, that makes all the difference. When I launched the first time, I made sure I had a whole bunch of people who were willing to back me on day one to just try to trigger the algorithm to show that that I was a project worth backing. Thankfully now, I've been live for 36 hours right now, and so like the new project I have up there, it's the second most backed thing on Kickstarter because I have all these returning backers who come in, and so you have the algorithm is just sort of, you have that built-in audience. So if you don't have the built-in audience, find a community that's going to be there, that's going to support you, because it's about getting visibility on your project. It doesn't matter how great what you make is, if no one sees it, it's not going to be there. You need something to help kickstart your Kickstarter. And so once you get the thing to kickstart your Kickstarter, you're golden. And then deliver your book, make it great, come back. The fans will come back, and you just keep building. Like every Kickstarter that I've done has pretty much built on the last one.
Yeah, I've had similar experiences. I had a very small fan base starting out, and we just started really small. And I was really surprised how well, like, as long as you give Kickstarter that initial first launch, it builds you up after that. And I've had a lot of people come find my comic from my Kickstarters after the first one. So it's like you kind of have to muscle through the first one, but after that, it just keeps trickling, and it's really nice.
So Sam, Bitsy is actually one of those people who was with me from almost day one of Lost Magic. When I didn't know anybody, and I was messaging tons of people. A lot of people didn't reply. Some people did reply not so kindly, but Bitsy was one of those people that replied very nicely, and yeah, so I'm very grateful for that.
I was like, who's this random guy? Oh, he seems nice.
Generally, that's all I can kind of ask for. Brittany, because you kind of missed earlier, do you have any questions about anybody who's on this panel? Did I not introduce anybody to you? Do you know who Murphy is?
Kind of. I mean, I feel like hearing people talk about different things, I kind of like understand like what people are doing too, based on like the questions they've responded to and things people have said.
Absolutely. So Keith, going back to the retail outlet and the retail stores, is there anything that we as we talk about how we as creators can do better, but is there anything in particular that would help the marketability of a project from the launch? And it can be whether it's genre, is there anything we can do as as creators?
Well, there's things. There's a lot of things that a lot of creators out there can do. So you just started engaging with people on my page for posts that are on my Facebook, and we got a small Facebook crowd. But Heather's going to hook you into our Discord, and I think Charlie hit this a little bit without really talking about that part of it. It's the community. If you're involved with the community in my store, that they may buy from me, they may get on your Kickstarter and do it. They're probably still going to spend money in my store. In not every retailer, some retailers are out there just to put the money in their pocket. Okay. But most of your comic book retailers and your small game shops out there, they're there because they have a community, not just because they're selling product. Selling product keeps their doors open. We can go a week without selling a thing, and I still have 20 people in my store because they're hanging out, reading comics, playing games, doing whatever. So the more you can engage with your customers, and I also have talked with you and Sam about when you engage with retailers. One of the things I appreciate about both of you guys, for example, and I've talked about you guys about William Russell. I get emails from you guys, or I get messages from you guys, or you call me, and I have that contact regularly over and over again. And a lot of what we talk about, I talk to my customers about. They're like, hey, so, and like Sam knows, and you with Rain. So we have some customers that buy everything, every time every cover that Sam's done. I have two customers that every cover Sam did for 47 Furious Tales, they have a copy of, if not more than one. I think they both have a signed copy and an unsigned copy of everything that I've gotten. So Sam took the time out to personalize a copy of each one of them of a comic book. That went a long way. I mean, we're really a long way, because now I got to buy a copy to read, but I don't want to open this one. But now they're waiting for the next one to come out. They're like, oh, yeah, I got to get the next one now, and I've got to get the next one now, and I've got to get the next one now. As far as marketing goes, the other piece is, every month I get a box or every week whenever I get my box from Diamond, or I'll tell you the Game Inside, Games Workshop, Conquest Games. I get a poster or a flyer that's promoting their next products that are coming out. I get a little flyer, or I get a little pamphlet that's got, that I can hand out to customers that say, just a little index card size thing, a postcard size that I can say, this is coming, save the date. And they know that your next issue is coming out. And it doesn't cost that much to send out those postcards. I still get postcards from some stuff I backed on Kickstarter 12 years ago. I get a Christmas card every year from these guys. You want to keep customers happy, keep your name in their face. I don't know about you guys. Every time I check my mailbox, though, the realtor and the local police chief, hey, vote for me. And then the realtor's there. Hey, you want to sell your house? So if I ever sell it, I'm probably going to the guy that I get a letter from every week, because that's the first name I'm going to remember. Go, it's Bitsy Tandem trying to get me to sell my house again.
I didn't know I was in realty. Wow.
Well, now you are. See,
my mom was a realtor, so that's where kind of like my sales tactics come from that, and especially the customer service tactics comes from that. Like, everyone is your friend. They're not a customer; they're your friend, and you got to treat them that way. And you got to keep your friendships. You have to keep them alive, and you have to call them. And it's definitely it works.
Once you get too big, people think you can't do that, but the bottom line is you still can. I mean, I work PR for a day job, and I call every mayor in a 100-mile radius every week. And it just, hey, mayor, how you doing? Or I send them an email. It's part of doing business is keeping your customers happy. And like Murphy said, I'm your friend. I'm not just the guy you talk to when you need something. I'm your friend. I'm the guy that you can come over to have a barbecue with, or let's go out for a drink.
Well, it's also exactly how Armand got us all on here.
That's right. That's right.
I was also going to say, speaking to what you're doing with Merc in terms of being on Kickstarter a lot. I think that it's about familiarity. It's about building a brand, so people start associating. This is a place that you can go, Kickstarter, to find Merc. Mm-hmm. And I think that's another thing that you can say to Kickstarter creators, even if you're just doing small campaigns. If you're doing one every 2 to 3 to 4 months, and you're on the platform for a month, 3 to 4 times a year, and you deliver, you start building a brand on there. People trust you. They start knowing your name. Murphy, I looked it up because I was trying to remember exactly which. But yes, of course, I've
that's
seen
so
your
funny. I
books on
wouldn't look you up
Kickstarter.
immediately too.
And so like that's the thing is like, yes, I've seen your books on there before. I've seen several of them. I know, it's like I had heard the brand. I was trying to place which particular product it was, but it was something that if someone said, "Oh, would you get Merc on Kickstarter?" Sure, that's something I've heard of before. And I think creating something that people have heard of before and they feel that they can trust that you'll deliver as a creator, that's 3/4 of the battle.
Trust is the biggest thing you need on Kickstarter. And that was the hard thing when we decided to do these monthly campaigns is, well, do our backers and do our fans trust us enough to back a campaign and then back another campaign one after another, because you're not getting the books between them. And it was a big risk. And from what we've seen, we have that trust and people know they're going to get their books. We already have the first 2 of the monthlies shipped out. And then honesty, like we have a, it's really hard getting anything printed right now. And we have an enamel pin that's a month late. And I put it up to the backers. I said, what do you guys want to do? We can ship it now, or we can ship it when we get the pin. And like 80% were like, no, we'll wait. And it's honesty and trust. On that note though, Armand, like, good luck. You got another backer with me. I got to head out. It was really nice meeting all of you guys.
Amazing, Murphy. You're welcome back anytime on the show. And, we'll talk more as well off the show.
Sure. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Murphy.
And just piggybacking on what she said, there is one other big thing, which is a concern for retailers and for all of us, and that's paper right now. Maybe you talked about this before, but paper shortages is a real issue. Keith, I don't know if you were at Comics Pro this year, but like the publisher of Viz was talking about how this is going to be something that's probably going to be another year and a half that we're going to be dealing with. And I found that terrifying. But that's, just buffer that time in, and you can do that for Kickstarter, for the direct market. Good luck for us all. Just making sure there's paper and books coming.
It really has made a difference in print cost calculations and where you're going to finally realize your economy of scale. Because I'm printing only about 3,000 copies per issue, right? But I really need to, just to see something that's economical so I can keep putting it on shelves at a price that isn't, horrific. You know what I'm saying? So being able to put books on the shelf and retailers being comfortable at, $4.50 or $5 or what have you, and knowing that they're doubling up their money on that, being able to do that has been a really, really big help. And of course, once paper shortage first kicked in, that was really, really terrifying. But thankfully, we've been able to not be too terribly affected by it yet, except by cost.
Yeah, right. I mean, here's the thing that, I think me and Keith were talking about this the other night is, and especially with Sam, building this reputation, if I can do it, there's really no, because I was able to, in this first 2 January and February campaigns, I was able to turn around the books in almost record time to my backers. And, despite the paper shortage that did hit, it's been going on since November. And it's one of those things where you have campaigns that are dragging along like 6 months that they still haven't fulfilled. And it's one of those things where now you have to realize the cost, or you're going to lose backers or fans. And it's one of those things where you kind of have to make the decisions, and now definitely having to calculate into your calculations, like what is it, how much is losing, making a fan angry, like how much is that worth versus just paying more for the paper and getting your book out there on maybe a different quality paper or whatever it is.
Yeah, my book is like twice the price right now, and it's not good.
While we were, I want to circle back because something that me, Sam, and Keith were talking a lot about is not expanding into more shops. I know Sam probably disagrees with this as he's really expanding, but I think I want to now double down into the shops I'm already in, like Keith's shop, and enter those communities and really get to know one of the customers through their Facebook groups, the Discords, the chats, because I feel like that's what's going to distinguish me when a customer walks into the store and they're going to be like, which book are they going to get? Are they going to get, some guy from Marvel or DC or Image, or are they going to get me if they've been talking to me for the past, few weeks? They talk to me every week on Facebook. They see my name kind of pumping out on there. And it's one of those things where Keith makes a post about Lost Magic, one of my books on his Facebook group, like 30 likes immediately. It comes in and people are excited about it. Whereas, there's really nobody else is really pushing, these other books, and they're not. It feels like a little impersonal almost. So definitely it's something that I'm trying to do more. Keith, is that about right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's right. And and let's be clear, that's not the only thing that sells a book, but it's a thing that keeps a customer. I've talked to some of you guys before too. It's just like my store. We have some other stores in the area. Whenever they come into my store, whenever they meet me, they always tell, because they've always been to my store before, they're like, man, your staff is so nice, man, compared to these other stores. Yeah. Your other customers are so cool. And I tell you, if you ever want to get into Warhammer, Warhammer 40K, walk into my store. You will spend $300 before you leave, I promise you, because my customers will sell that product to you. And if they like your book, I don't have to sell it. My customers sell your book for you because they feel like they know who you are. We're Free Comic Book Day. I'm not sure about this, but I'll pass this through Sam and Armand. We've got 4 artists in our store, but we also want to go live and talk to some other artists that are out there doing things and some other creators that are out there doing things on Free Comic Book Day. I'm hoping to have the big screen up by then, or even just messages. If you guys want to record a message on Free Comic Book Day saying, hey, I'm live on Kickstarter starting, June, whatever. I'll run those all day while my artists are signing. I'll have them on the outside screen. And because when they see your face, when they see who they're dealing with, and this is just natural, this is just human nature, by the way, I always tell the people I work with, get off the phone, get off the email, walk across the damn the street and talk to somebody in person. Once they know you in person, or they think they know you, you have a persona to them. You're actually a person and not just a piece of paper that comes in on a comic book.
Yep.
They will look for your book on my shelves before they will look for somebody they may have heard of them, but they've never seen before in their life.
Yes. So Keith, actually, I'm sure you know this, Keith, but you were a big inspiration and pushed me to kind of start this show, because I know you had a podcast yourself back in the day, and you kept talking about it and how good of an environment, and you were able to connect with people. And I wanted that, it was something that I definitely aspired to kind of do. And I did it. And, I did it 4 weeks ago, and this is like the 4th show now. It's like, I'm trying to keep, every week trying to really connect with people now. So
it's a good way to do it.
I got to jump. So thank you for having me on. Really nice getting to putting some faces with some of these names. Everybody have a great campaign if you're live. If you are live, DM me. Make sure I'm backing you, because I will. And
okay.
Keith, what's your shop again?
It's called The Box.
The Box. Okay.
And if you find it on Facebook, it's The Box Leesville if you need to search it.
Perfect. You have a great afternoon, and good luck with everyone's campaigns.
Charlie, I'll shoot you a DM on Twitter here in a bit.
It was an honor, Charlie. Thanks for stopping by.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
So Charlie was a huge deal, in the Kickstarter. I'm sure Sam knows his name. Maybe Adam. Adam, do you know? Okay, so first we'll introduce Adam.
One of my favorite human beings just came in, Adam Watson.
Hey, thanks for that, Sam. So just to let you know, I don't know how long. What's up, Sam?
I said we go back a while, man.
Yeah, we do.
So
I don't know how long I will have, because my car's radiator hose just jumped off while I'm at the post, or while I was at the post office. So I'm waiting for a friend to bring a tool down. As soon as he gets here, I am gonna have to go. Just to let you know.
No worries, no worries. While we have you, Adam, just so everybody knows, Sam claimed that he learned everything he knows about crowdfunding comics. He learned from you, and everything I know about crowdfunding comics, I learned from Sam. So in some kind of weird roundabout way, everything I learned is from you, Adam. Is that a fair way to put it? Is that how you would describe
I
it?
wouldn't say Sam learned everything from me. He was already doing crowdfunding when I met him, but but I appreciate that all the same.
It was something that I kind of wanted to bring up as well, Adam, is because Adam has been a great friend, and he actually has a distribution chain out in the West Coast, mainly based in Oregon, but something
Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah. Something that me and Adam talk a lot. Mostly, me and Sam talk a lot, but if I know, because I kind of know what Sam's going to say already. So if I don't want to if I don't want to ask Sam a question, I'm going straight to Adam. You know what I'm saying? He's next up on the list of probably people you should thank, because I'm not asking. He shares a responsibility of answering a bunch of questions that I have. Is that also a fair statement, Adam? That you?
That's a fair statement. Yep, I'm here to answer any publisher questions.
So yeah, I actually, and you haven't met Keith yet, but Keith is a guy that me and Sam work very closely with, and it's about time you two meet, because I feel like you guys would hit it off.
Hi, Keith.
How you doing, Adam?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, good. Well, there's three of us with facial hair on here, I see. So I think some people need to catch up. Armand, you need to grow a little bit, Armand.
A little bit. Just after shadow.
Pedro's trying to show the fuzz, but he's not.
Dude, the thing is, I live in a very hot country, and my face will melt if I allow the beard to grow. So yeah, that's why I'm keeping the youthful looks.
I just got rid of my beard yesterday. Sorry, guys.
So as you guys know, somebody new joined. Adam, I think you joined, and we have to do something. It's our Elixir animation that Pedro is very proud of that he made. And we're gonna keep playing it every time somebody comes in to make sure they see it. How do you feel about that animation, Adam? And you don't hold back the truth, so you can really let Pedro have it.
Let me have it.
What I could see looked good. I didn't have a chance to turn my sound on before it went away, but the animation looked good.
Okay.
Don't play it again.
Yeah, so one of those things that I was very excited about is we're going to try to compete on social media now and try to branch out.
I'm actually very excited about that point, because as you can see, those little 5 seconds, I can pop them out in 2-3 days. And if it's a good tool to promote, that's another avenue to help campaigns and money for me. Yay. So that's good. That's good.
It's something that we're definitely trying to do more of. I think me and Paco, me and Pedro are always talking about how to really expand this, the marketing efforts and the push of how to really just elevate all of the properties. Really quick, I know Pops is watching. He'll have to come on the show. I'll send him a link. We're wrapping up here, but we'll have him come on for a little bit. Part of expanding the team is really, definitely bringing on people like Adam and Sam's, advice. But a big piece is actually bringing on Brittany. I think that was a big moment. I was like, you know what, I need an editor. Brittany, would you kind of agree with that statement?
I mean, I would always agree that I'm the big moment, Armand, but yeah.
Because I'll tell you that people have told me, Sam, I don't know if it's your experience, or Adam, that people feel more comfortable seeing that an editor was on the project. When they see the credits, they feel more comfortable, either picking it up to buy, read, or even back, especially on Kickstarter, because they can, they know that somebody else had their eyes on it and that it was done properly. Is that kind of your experience, Sam?
See, I don't know if it's the audience that feels that. I know me as a creator, I certainly feel that because I want to make sure that I'm delivering the best product I can, and so having an extra set of eyes to go over and do the editorial work is very important to me in my process.
Please get an editor. Please get an editor.
I've got a really good editor. I have a really solid editor.
You do. Alexia Valtizing. I think she's in the chat somewhere. She wants to come on.
Yeah. She's in the chat.
She was in. She came on a few weeks ago. Very glad to have her. You know what this means? Pops is on board. So Pops is a big guy on the indie crowdfunding scene. Is that right, Sam? Is that how you would say it, or would you say? How would you describe Pops as somebody who doesn't know who Pops is?
Pops is the madman behind the comics-related madness, promoting indie comics 23 hours a day because there's at least an hour that he's in the head.
And Chrome Daddy also.
I do my best promoting what you get. Look, comic creators have given me a lifetime of entertainment. And a couple of years ago, we all know everything went down. And I just try to give something back by putting eyes on what people like you guys do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's greatly appreciated.
He always pushes I don't think there's a person he doesn't push. He's one of those people that is very welcoming and accepting into the community. He was one of the three people I would say in the on the had shows that kind of responded to me to come on. Sam gave me a list of people to reach out to. Pops will take everybody. He wants everybody on his show, and thanks Pops for doing that for the entire community. Alexia, if you want to come on the show, feel free to. She cannot. She is saying something about a back seat. I don't know what that means. Maybe
that means that Sam has her working. He's a slave driver. He makes her work.
She is working to finish issue 3. So she is. That's one of the reasons why we haven't actually been forcing her to. No, forcing is the wrong word. Why we haven't been, persuading her to be on a lot of appearances because she's been focusing really on, getting the book done.
Absolutely, and I get that. I'm kind of going crazy myself. There's so many things. But one of the things that I make sure of, before Brittany knows this, is that that the art is almost completely done because there's so much that goes into running a crowdfunding campaign, be from the marketing standpoint, and just the lettering, editing, making sure everything's done before sending off to the printers. Having that done is definitely something that I would think every creator wants to do, because then you just put more pressure on yourself. I feel there's already so much pressure. Alexia is saying forcing is the right word, and then she doesn't say anything else. That's all she says in the chat. I'm kidding. She says, just kidding.
Again.
Adam, you see how maligned I am here, man? I'm sure.
Now, what you were saying earlier about Sam being a wealth of knowledge, Sam's one of those people that I send people to. When they come to me, I'm just a promoter, okay? The crowdfunding project that we just launched is my first encounter with this stuff. I don't have like Sam's wealth of knowledge, and people will come to me and ask me questions. They're like, you want to talk to him because he just know. I'm one of them people defer to those who know. And if somebody asks me a question, I know somebody knows more about that than I do, I'm gonna send them to that person. Like if somebody asks me about animation, I'm gonna send them to Pedro. I'm not gonna try and answer their question, Yeah. And Sam's just one of those guys, man. It's like he's amazing when it comes to helping out people, no matter what. It's like he has a regular job. He's doing his own campaigns, plural. Make sure everybody understands. Dude's got his fingers in all kind of pies. Okay, sure. He's working, right, and working, and he still takes the time. If somebody asks him, some stranger comes to him, yo, man, Pop said to ask you about this. Sam, take care of him.
Yeah,
I love Sam.
That's been my great experience as well. And Adam is one of those people too. So I do want to, if anybody has any questions that are watching this, Sam, reach out to me, and I'll send you to Sam and Adam's way. You don't want me to answer any question. I'll tell you that right now. Brittany, is that a fair statement?
Oh, you
Adam, we got a book for you.
Yeah, you want Sam or Adam to answer your questions, and they have a wealth of experience and knowledge.
Sam and Adam are going to set up a support email line, and we're going to forward everything to Armand.
Armand is definitely not the questions guy. Armand's so much not the questions guy. He played 20 questions incorrectly.
Oh yeah, that was a fun time last week.
That was delicious.
We played 21 questions. Pedro was there, and
was an
apparently
awesome
I've been
time.
playing this game wrong my whole life. But
It's like, let's play 20 questions, and then he just interrogated somebody. I was like, what's happening?
that was a fun time. Right here, we're going to end it off with just kind of a showing of the Elixir campaign. This is the first day, and we're already breaking records. We have 23 backers over here, and that's kind of amazing. Really quick, is Pack anywhere here? Oh, Pack is not. All right, never mind. But it's something that I'm very proud of. This is by and far best first day. We have $720, 23 backers here, and it's something that as we grow, we're only on month 3. Sam knows this very well. And I tell everybody where we were from the first day to where we're going to end up. At the end of this year, both me and him together, because I know he's putting out a lot of books this year. I'm very excited to see it where we're going to be at the end of this year. And part of that is delivering, putting great stories out there. And anybody who's still watching this, day 1 backer art bonus. If you want to back, now is the day to do it. You get this killer art print by Pack, who is of course the lead and main artist on the book. And Marina Goncalves is a guest star colorist. Over here we have our covers. The main cover, again, Pack did all these covers. If they look different, it was because of the well-intentioned bringing on different guest star colorists. And I do mean guest stars. Chang Chin Lim is an amazing artist in, I believe, Malaysia. Don't quote me on that though. And this is the main cover that catches a lot of people's attention that Ozzy from before was talking about. I'm sure Keith saw that as well, and he was like, "Oh, okay, let me get these books." This is the variant cover of Elixir. So this is a Monster Hunter story, and we wanted to show a little different side of the main character and of this world, where it's a nice, happy family picture. Keith, I know you were we were talking about a box exclusive variant cover. It would have been something like this, like a happy family moment, and it was going to be somewhere where it would be something you couldn't get anywhere else, not even in the story itself. Only at the box you could have, where you could have got that experience. Do you want us to tell? Do you want me to tell everybody what it was going to be, Keith? Is that okay? Or are we putting that in the pocket?
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell them what we were thinking about, and we're still thinking about for another issue. But go ahead.
Yes. So it was a kind of in that style of, it would be a family. It would be a family pose. In the foreground, it was going to be the children. So in the background, it would be the two main characters. It would be Cyrus and his wife, kind of not arguing but looking for something. And Cyrus would be like, "Honey, have you seen my box?" Or "Honey, where's my box?" Right? And then what you would in the foreground, it would be in the foreground you would see the two kids, Daria and Lyra. You would see them playing, like hiding behind a table, and they'd be playing with the box, and the box would be open, full of elixirs, and the kids would be drinking the elixirs, like the vials of elixir. And then we're thinking of playing around with some of the, the kids could have like purple faces after that or something like that, and kind of like having a reaction to it. What do you think of that, Sam? Would that have been a good cover that you wanted? Would you have bought that cover, Sam?
Yeah, I would have bought that cover. Most definitely.
Adam, would you have bought that cover?
I don't know.
Adam
because
doesn't
I'm
mind.
not a mark for variant covers, honestly. I hate variant covers so much that I may not, just because it's a variant.
Interesting thought. But that's why we have a
I
panel.
almost always just go for the main cover because I don't want to support variants.
Yes, we have talked about that at length, and that's again why I only myself do 3 variants, or 2 variants and 1 main cover.
Right. It's not that I'm talking about the quality of it. I do not like variant covers.
No, absolutely.
Then you'll love my stuff.
So this is the metal cover. So you get
I've yet to try a variant cover. Like it's
Fantastic. Stay away from them. They're evil.
But I'm doing an anthology, and I got like 20-some people involved, and a couple of them threw up some great cover concepts, and I couldn't deny them all. You know, I mean, so we tried to keep it small. We got an A cover and 3 variants, but one guy turned in a piece that was so awesome. Tank Ferret gave us a piece that was so cool that it was like, this has to be on every book. So he got the back cover of every book because it was just such an awesome piece of art. You know, it's like, it's hard when you have that many people involved in your project to say, no, I can only do, you know, no, your cover can't be in. Yeah. You know, it's like, it's really hard to do that. So I mean, I understand when you have a book on your own, but when you're doing an anthology with 14 stories, some art just can't be denied. You got a Crom Eddie crossover, Iron Maiden cover. It's, you know what I mean? It's like you just can't. You can't tell that guy he can't make a cover.
Absolutely. Pac wanted a few more covers as well, and I was like, yeah, let's keep it to 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep it small, but you know, some art just can't be denied. That's.
I agree. All right, you guys. I'm gonna try to wrap this up in the next few minutes, but in this, I just want to go back to this campaign page. You know, the metal cover. You got the ash can, which is black and white. Pac's incredible inked line art, untouched and unlettered. You know, if you just want to see it, that's the best way to do that. We kind of have our main character, Cyrus.
Yeah.
We have the comics 100% ready to go on some preview pages over here. You know, some very incredible, again, just art talent brought in for this.
Yeah.
We have the creative team here, where, you know, we have 3 of the 4 members on this cast right now. We have me, we have Pac, we have Brittany. Brittany claims she's getting new headshots soon. Is that something that's going to happen soon, Brittany? Or
Yes, I have to for my college exit program. So that was my one for my senior of high school exit program, and I'm trying to get more for my college one.
Absolutely, you know, it's something that we're always working on getting better for. Okay, so we have here, you know, just the tiers. Something Neff said to do, Neff from earlier, is to make some kind of, you know, discount, tell people the best value where to get, you know, if you want the box, that's the best value right there.
That box.
And then you get everything in this box. That's the entire thing, right? And then for the box, plus if you want an original piece, I know I was asking Sam and Adam particularly last night if this was a good idea. They said yes, and I threw it up there. You know, we did it. We have a little fun timeline here of the entire project, and
I love the timeline.
Yes, Adam was a big fan of the time. big supporter of it. That I could not get rid of it, and I wouldn't. We have some fun stretch goals, which I'm hoping we will get to do. I have a good feeling about it that we will reach these stretch goals, and I'd like to see it for sure. Because if we hit the stretch goal for already at 2,000, we're already matching Lost Magic's campaign, and then anything over is already breaking a record. And you know me, I'm all about breaking records, personal records, all the time, because that's how we get better, and that's how we grow. Yep. So we have some 2 fun stickers over here, and again, don't forget, we get a bonus art print. So let me kind of refresh and see how much, you know, maybe there's new backers, but 23 backers, $728. It was a good show. I think that was
great start, man.
I think it's what I think it was a good start. I think this launch party was a big moment. And I brought in all the supporters. If you were here the entire time, you got to see everybody. Pedro, I think you were here the entire time for sure.
Yes, I was.
I know Pac was in and out.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Pac was in. Pac was here.
I was making. I had to pick up my wife.
Oh, no worries. Pac, how do you feel right now that we are currently on, after one day, at $728, 23
feeling good. A good beginning. It doesn't matter how much we have now, but for the future, I'm sure we'll reach a better goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I remember telling Pax, like, I think that as the year goes by, as we go month by month and build a bigger audience, number 2 is going to be much bigger than number 1. I still believe number 1 will be the best campaign I ever ran. It'll be the biggest one. But just by logic, number 2 is going to have more backers and more funding than number 1 does, because more people have heard about it. There's a bigger audience and fan base, and as we kind of grow here, that's something I'm definitely excited about. And having everybody coming on and celebrate, again, it means a lot to me that everybody is here and everybody who jumped in and out that came and supported. We had a lively chat as well. Definitely Frog G and Mo are now our moderators. Hopefully they'll keep coming back every Wednesday.
Dude, you got rockstars in the chat.
Yeah, these are rock stars in the community, and I'm very happy to kind of have them. And they were fans of Neff, and of course I'm fans of them, so it was a perfect kind of pairing. So now that we're here, we have some huge guest stars coming that could not make it tonight. We have Richard Davis, who does Cult of Dracula, somebody I'm very excited to have on this show. We'll bring Charlie Stickney back on for a longer episode, just kind of asking him questions and getting more wisdom out of him. He again is such a big inspiration. And I told Sam though, I was like, Sam, that was before. Current inspiration is Sam is up here, Charlie's down. You know what I'm saying? Sam knows.
Yeah, you're gonna give me the big head, man.
Sam
I'm
knows
gonna
this.
have to jump out, Armand.
Absolutely. We're wrapping up here. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Good seeing you. And next
Have a
time
good
I'll
one.
be more talkative. I just got to get the car fixed. So
No worries. You're welcome
Talk
back.
to you guys later.
Anybody's welcome back
Thanks.
anytime.
Be safe.
Take care, man.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we're all winding down here. Keith, do you have any want to say any last words or any last inspiring words for the
I don't know about it. I don't know about inspiring words. I'm just glad to see everybody out there, and the indie comics. We get indie comics here, we sell, and we sell those same people over and over again. I don't have any problem continuing it. If your first product is good, I'm going to sell it. And unlike a lot, something else you can work with your retailers is, ask those retailers to put you on that rack in front of the store. Don't put you with all the rest of the stuff out there. We rotate our indies out, and I have a rack. When you walk in the door, the first ones, right now, the first thing you see is Lost Magic, 47 Furious Tales, and Rain. And then I think there's an Advent comic down there, and then there's Murphy's Foo Bar. That's when you walk in, that's what you see, and you've got to work with your retailers, to do that. Something that I thought was pretty good is, and it's not done yet. I'm not gonna give this away for what company it is. They are doing their own display rack. That if you're like for a retail thing, if you ever look at those cardboard display racks, Warhammer does one for their book line. A couple of other companies do them for their books. They've got what they're doing is, it's not a full display rack, but it's something that fits over them on the top of the metal display rack that says Sonopa Publishing or whatever, or it has the title of the book up there. Then it's a separate piece of artwork. Now, if you only have one retailer, don't do it. I'll make my own. But if you've got 10, 11 retail stores carrying your book, that's going to point people to it. And it also says that, hey, my retailer's telling me this book is important. They don't have a big Marvel sign up there. They don't have a big DC sign up there, but they've got Reign of Ages or Lost Magic or Elixir up there. I should probably check it out. So there's little things, and you can help us retailers. And I'm speaking for a couple of other guys that carry the book, all the same indies I carry. You can help us just by providing that stuff. I know both of the guys that are on here right now, you have little artwork cards that I give out with your comic books, or is tucked into your artwork. You wouldn't believe how far that actually goes when I just hand out those cards. Yeah, here you go. I just hand something out to those people that bought somebody else's book, and a week later they come back and they've been looking at that piece of art card, like the Rain one, for example. That just happened recently. They came back and Do you still have this book? And they were able to, they couldn't remember the name, but they had the artwork in their hand. That one right there.
Nice.
They had that artwork in their hand. They're able to say, you remember this book? And so there's little things. When we have another chance to chat, and I want to do it tonight, I would like to talk some social media to some of you guys, especially when you're doing animation and video. Because we have a lot of analytics and data on this that we use in our shop for the U.S. Army. A lot of analytics on the length your videos should be, and in particular on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. YouTube's a longer format, but when you're on those other social media platforms, there's some really specific details that I can help you with using the data that I have. Somebody that's all they do is analytics all day long. And
That's awesome.
Yeah,
there's information from that is pertinent across the board for social media. The numbers vary a little bit depending on your platform, but they're important to getting your message out in the amount of time that the average viewer watches a Facebook video. And if I can ask that one question, how many people know at how many seconds 50% of your audience disappears on Facebook?
I think it's 35, isn't it?
So 50% is 5 seconds.
I was about to say like 2 or 3 seconds. I know from
35 is your total watch time for most people.
Okay, sorry.
You're down to about 1. If you have 1,000 viewers, you're down to about 1 at the 30-second mark.
Yeah.
So those numbers and also your times a day. And if you're not using your analytics that are available through your platforms, you're making a mistake.
Definitely something
that help you, because all I do is try to find better ways to serve all the people that I promote. And I don't.
Armand's got my email address, and Armand, you can give that email address out. You can post it up. You can give it to everybody if you want. It's the Human Entertainment one, not the store email address, but the Human Entertainment one.
Like Sam knows, I do a monthly event, a weekend event where I have to do these long ass streams, but I have people on 30 minutes, one after another, all day long for a whole weekend. I do it every month. So anything I can do to drive more traffic to that's really the show, my big event every month. That's the one I want to build.
Well, we'll talk offline from here. This is Armand's thing, but I just want to offer that up to any of you guys that are working on projects.
Absolutely.
The numbers speak for themselves.
So again, so after Raven came on our show, I think 2 weeks ago, me, Pedro, and Bitsy, we're all now.
We just jumped into animation.
We jumped into animation because seeing her success and seeing her runaway success almost over like the course of like a week or 2 weeks or something. She, brand new. She launched this new project. It's something that we're now all jumping into, kind of having some friendly competition with, and definitely, Pedro's not having any competition because he's the winner. No, Pedro's going to win this competition.
He's only done the one. But yeah, that more are coming.
It's hilarious.
Absolutely. All right, I want to kind of wrap this up. I think it's been almost a 2-hour stream. Sam,
awesome.
do you expect to be here for 2 hours? How do you feel? How do you feel it went? Would you come back, Sam? That's the real question.
Always. Quick shout for myself, though, shameless self-promotion. We've got about 4 hours left on 47 Furious Tales issues 1 through 3. If you haven't pledged yet, go ahead and pledge today, or pick it up from one of your local retailers like The Box, or The Collective, or Gotham Underground, Third Eye Comics, The Hive, Heroes and Villains, Cosmic Cake Comics in Saratoga Springs, and then I'm forgetting someone in Louisville. But yeah,
if your local shop doesn't trade, The Box.
I have a list.
Oh, and I think you might appreciate this. Little work in progress shot from Reign of Ages.
Okay.
Issue 2. This is one of the Nick Capone covers.
Very cool. Wow.
Oh, pretty.
It's pretty. Yeah.
He's still working on it a little bit, but pretty good for work in progress. I like where he's going with it.
I like that a lot too, and I know you have another main cover. I don't know if you want to show that, but the main cover, that was the variant
with Aisha Ghul. Yeah, that's actually going to be done here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's very
and,
cool.
We'll go ahead and put that release on out. We'll probably send if the shops want them, we'll probably send out some promo posters for those so they can start getting pre-orders in. We're expecting to get that one out May, June, shipping the end of July, I think, is when that is. I'll have to look at the calendar.
Very cool. So, so actually, Pac is still here. Of course, Pac was here the entire time. So, we actually, because I saw your, I don't know what it was called, your logo or whatever, Brand of Ages. We Ozzy in particular, a few other retailers have told us we need some kind of logo on our book that kind of says that, and Pac even brought it up that you don't trust somebody without a logo, that there will be an issue too. And is that right, Pac?
You need a logo on the book.
People wouldn't trust it. So we made a logo this weekend, and I told you some of the names. I brainstormed with some of you. Some people liked it, some people didn't, but we're going with it because it's wacky and memorable, and it's going to be the submarine treehouse. And it's going to be also the double up as the name of the show. It's going to be a cool hangout. It's going to be a wild ride, and I think it fits us well. What do you think, Brittany? Do you think it fits us well?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I really liked it when you pitched it to me. And after weeks of not having a name, I was excited when you had one.
That's right. Brittany's like, can I say that I'm working for somebody? I was like, yes. Well, now you can, it's something that we definitely wanted to do, especially before we send Elixir off to the printers, which I think we have another week or two before we do, but here it is, and we're going to go with it for now. Keith, while I have you, before we promote everybody where they can find you, think of where they can find you. But Keith, what do you think of our retail cover for Ozzy over there? We had a yin and yang kind of version of the hero and villain. Any thoughts on that? If you think it will do well, or did you like it?
I like it because when you told me that that's kind of what he wanted, I was kind of curious. I was curious as to where you were going to go with it and how you were going to get it, how you're going to get that to work out. I really like that cover.
Again, it all goes to Pac because Pac was incredible.
Thank you. Incredible. I think I could sell that as a print, honestly, to some of my guys.
Yeah, we might have to do that. I actually don't know if we can legally. I'll have to talk to Ozzy. But the thing is, I was kind of worried after seeing how cool this was. I told Pac, I was like, people are gonna want this cover, I was like, but in a good way. I was like, that's a retail exclusive, and people are gonna look at it and be like, I don't want any other. I want that one. But of course, that's the entire point. That's the hope that I think we'll bring to every retail exclusive cover. Kyle was on here earlier. Sam, you just missed him. He's very cool. I don't know if anybody else got to meet him. Maybe Pedro did.
Yeah, I did.
Kyle from Cowabunga Comics.
Yeah, I've met Kyle several times.
He's very
they're
nice.
Also one of the retailers who carry our books.
And we're circling him. We're circling him for retail.
Like a shark?
like a shark or a
That's exactly the right way to phrase that.
yeah, exactly. Like, we're circling.
But it's one of the things that we're trying to do more of. Pac knows that's a big kind of thing, because and you guys know this, that basically even having Ozzy come on board off Kickstarter, it already matched Lost Magic's entire run for a month. So technically we are already breaking records here, and that was the entire hope as we try to get more as we try to build this brand and this community, and again, the entire release slate for the year. I know Keith is going to back on Friday, he said, so that'll be another big boost to the campaign.
Awesome.
And I again just want to thank everybody for coming on here. And let's go around and everybody can say where you can find each other and what books you're working on or whatever you want to push. You each have maybe 15 to 20 seconds.
Wow.
Hugo, you want to go?
15 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I'm working on Tropical Magics. This is my first book. I was actually sharing the video for the trailer. I don't know if you want to. It's more than 15 seconds, so I don't know.
We'll play it as we exit. Page.
Yeah. So Tropical Magics. We're on the last 32 hours of the first 30 days. We're 75% to the goal, and I'm very happy and very grateful to everybody has backed. So go check it out on Indiegogo. If you like it, I will.
Yes.
I would like your
We
support.
will play the trailer because Pedro's been a great friend and very supportive of all of my work. So I absolutely support everybody in turn. Keith, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Well, on Facebook, it's the Box Leesville. But if you want to contact me from a business perspective, it's HOUIN@gmail.com. And but once you connect with us, or if you connect with the store, the Box Leesville, if you message, tell if Heather usually takes care of that. And if you tell Heather, hey, I'd like to be able to tell Heather you want to get into the Discord discussion with our customers and our gamers, our comic book readers, Heather will plug you in there and she'll put you in, and she will promote your book, and she reads your books, and then she posts nice little things about your book. So
cool.
Get to know Heather.
Amazing. Yes, I got to know Heather, and I was, Sam's going to do that real soon, right, Sam? We were talking about this weekend about joining.
Yeah. I've just been working on finishing my Kickstarter, and I'll be talking to Heather this week and trying to get in next week.
Sam, you kind of already said it, but you have a Kickstarter right now. Do you want to maybe say something?
47 Furious Tales, the story of the 47 run-in told through anthropomorphic animals. Issues 1, 2, and 3 are live on Kickstarter. We are going to be fulfilling next month. We also produce Reign of Ages. Issue 1 is out and in several local shops now. In May, we are launching Necroholic Issue 1, and we have right now 6 other titles in development to go along with those in 2023, plus 3 RPG titles this year and 4 RPG titles next year. So we are
one of the things I like a lot about Sam, and I think our visions align, is we're thinking very far ahead in the release slate. He's already talking about 2023. Brittany doesn't want to hear it, but I am too. I'm thinking about 2023 as well.
It's important. It's important to have your calendar, just because of the production. Having your production teams allocated so that they can get the books done in a timely manner. The nice part about being a writer is that you can task multiple art teams.
Yes. Bitsy, do you want to give it a go?
Sure, I am Bitsy Tandem. I am operating EOTerra Entertainment right now. So it's eoterra.com, EOTERA, I'm pretty sure. I'm dyslexic, so I might spell it wrong. Right now, we're working on Maiden in Disguise and Tsukiyame no Kenbujin, and I hope to have another Kickstarter coming out this April. Probably, I'm not sure if it's going to be for Maiden in Disguise or Tsukiyame no Kenbujin yet. I'm kind of wrestling with myself. I want to launch them both. Which one next?
Do both. Do both together.
You can't do them at the same time, can you?
Sure you can. Do them both in one campaign.
Really?
Package deal.
Really?
Yeah, do them both. Because we're probably going to have to put like 4 or 5 books together quarterly starting next year, just because otherwise we don't have enough months in the year.
Think about, Bitsy, Sam, you guys will be on the show more, but, Sam is a very good guy to kind of get second takes on, because he will tell like it is. And, if he doesn't like your idea, he'll rip it to shreds as well, but in a good way. Pops, do you want to give a shout?
Oh, 15 minutes. All right. 15 seconds. More like 15 minutes, but okay. Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube. We do CromCon. We do Monday Madness. We do an open draw stream on Sunday. Basically, the channel is all about promoting indie comic creators. Anybody. You want to get on my show, one of my shows, let me know. If those days don't work for you, we do special editions. We do launch parties. We do countdowns. We cover it all. So if you want to pop that little thing up, I share my screen real quick, because I said earlier something about the Iron Maiden cover of Enter the Cromniverse. Right. There it is. That's one of our variant covers. I'm not going to go any more into the book. It's Enter the Cromniverse on Indiegogo. Go check it out. But first, back Armand's book. Then go check it out. What's up. Pedro's actually involved in this book. There's quite a few people involved in it.
Yes,
so.
Pedro is involved. Pedro's involved in the indie scene everywhere, but that's why we're trying
to get... If you guys don't know, the Comic Related Madness on Facebook is the best promotion and networking group online. 2,500 people, all kinds of cool people that you'll know. Brian Polito, Michael Montemore, they were founding members of this group. It's been around for a couple of years. It's growing, and all we want to do is, it's a place where you can put your link to your campaign. I'll already drop yours, Armand. I did it before, right when the show started. Sam knows the madness is, that's what it's for. Networking, join the madness.
That's right. Join the madness. I like that. Brittany, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, I mean,
you don't want to be found.
you know me, I never want to be found. You can find me at Beely99 on Instagram, and obviously in terms of what I'm working on, I'm Armand's editor, so anything he's working on, I've got the folders. Whether I want them or not, I've got the folders.
That's right. Brittany, how crazy is that I threw something new on your lap like less than a week ago? Brittany went on vacation, right? So Brittany went on vacation for a week, right? And the moment she comes back, I was like, I got something new for you, Brittany. And it was because she wasn't here to kind of keep me on track, so I went off and I didn't want, you know what I'm saying?
I know. As soon as I disappear, I come back to 3 more projects.
That's right. Don't leave, Brittany.
I can't leave this guy alone.
Amazing. Pac, you can plug your Instagram and some art and.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna skip me. I was.
Oh no, can't skip you, man.
I don't talk very well in front of a lot of people, so that's why I draw. But thank you for everyone that supports our project. And Elixir is gonna be great, and it's gonna keep getting better.
Yes. I feel pretty confident saying that Elixir 2 is happening. The line art is almost already completely done. And it's something that me and Pac are trying to create this into a franchise. We talk about it a lot, how to make it bigger and better all the time. And we have a prequel going on Webtoons that will kind of turn into a book as well. But it's how do we keep upping this one property, right? And that's and it's really I hope it's going to take off, and we'll keep making it. And the second one's already done. It's going to come out later in this year. You don't have to wait too long for it. It's going to come out maybe September is what we're looking at. So yeah. Again, thank you everybody who's still watching this stream. I know Neff is probably there. Mo Biggs and Frog G have this open and are still around. But it means a lot that everybody came out to kind of support this big moment as it's a third one, and it's just going to keep getting better and bigger from here is my hope. So again, a very special thank you. I'll play Pedro's trailer. Pedro's is still up, and then I'll end the stream on the Elixir trailer. So go back Pedro's Tropical Magics and go back Elixir. It's before the night is over.
Oh yeah.
So Pedro is new to the scene, but he gets it. He's doing some amazing things, and I think it was amazing that we met the way we did and how we kind of hit it off ever since. The last thing I'll say before I play this trailer, and we'll Elixir trailer, and we'll call it a day, a night here, is Sam. How did you think this stream went? Because we met a lot of people. I think maybe you could appreciate everybody who came on the most. Yeah. Maybe Charlie Stickney. We had Murphey from Merc Magazine come in here. These are, I don't know if everybody knows, these are like really big Kickstarter rock stars.
I'm always happy to meet new people when it comes to indie comics and RPG stuff. It's always exciting to hear what other people are doing and their approaches. And you can always try and learn from other people's methods and help refine your own. And sometimes you can offer insight from your own experiences that may help them too. So I think this was pretty good stream.
Yeah. I was the best one yet, right, Pedro? Pedro's been on all of them. Best stream, Pedro?
Well, I mean, it's all streams are good.
That's right.
All streams are like children. You can't say
we had Keith. We had 3 retailers come. We had Keith, Ozzy, Kyle on the show. We had Neff come on the show. Oh man, just it was a great show. And
it was awesome.
We had Sam from Sonoma Public. Don't forget, Sam and Adam came on board. Yeah, so all my biggest supporters and all like killing the game in the indie scene. So if anybody's watching this, let's make indie comics, crowdfunding indie comics like a real thing. Let's really kind of up each other game and support each other. That's kind of all I've got to say. Keith, do you want to say the last word? You can say anything to the viewers out there. What do you got to say for us?
No, it was great show, and I still have daylight to go get some fishing in my pond. So y'all have a good night.
Amazing.
Have a good one, Keith.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Go back this book.
I can feel the blood leaking out of me, draining out all that I am. My memories, my pain, my happiness. There's something different in the air. I feel it in every breath I take. It's flooding over my body and mind. It feels like death!
A new presence has been created in the universe. It is an abomination. A new embodiment of death.
Cyrus the Monster Hunter, you will leave now. This is not a fight you can win.
You are angry at the world, at your place in it. Your weakness, your mortality. Anger is good. It will keep you alive.
Angels, demons, they're all the same. All monsters, all my prey.
I choose you, Cyrus, the Monster Hunter. I give you your greatest hunt. I name you my champion.
Why? I want my body! This world! Let me die in pain!